Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is LuckyBunz. In today's Pokemon Go video, I'm going to be doing a full analysis of Pokemon Go Fest 2021 and whether or not you should actually buy the Go Fest ticket for $5. So as always, before we go ahead and get started with this video, if you guys do end up finding it helpful and informative, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So first off, I would like to begin with the bonuses for the non-ticket holders, and we're going to start off with the habitats on day 1. So there's going to be 4 habitats. There's going to be the jungle, desert, mountain, ocean, and cave habitats. So the Pokemon as follows are going to be the ones that I particularly found interesting, at least the ones with the shiny form available, or they're going to be decently good in PvP. So starting off with the jungle habitat hour, we're going to have Scyther and Apom. Both of those Pokemon are going to be available in their shiny forms. During the desert hour, we're going to have Skarmory, Shieldon, and Hippopotas. During the ocean hour, the only one of interest that I really saw was Dratini, maybe Swablu, I guess, if you're interested in that. But Dratini is kind of the only one that stood out to me. And then finally, during the cave hour, we're going to have Roggenrola, Galarian Stunfisk, and Dino. So the cave hour is definitely the one of the most interest by far. Now, in addition to those hourly Pokemon, we're also going to have music-related Pokemon like Whismur, Chimecho, Audino, and Tympole, which are all going to be available in their shiny form for the very first time. And of course, this wouldn't be a Pokemon Go event without a Pikachu and a special hat, so you guys can expect that one as well too. On top of that, you're also going to get a free avatar item, a Go Fest shirt, and I believe that's going to be everything in regards to day 1 of the event. Now, in regards to day 2, we're going to have every single Pokemon that was available during those habitat hours available in the wild to hunt on Sunday. Additionally, you're also going to have every single legendary Pokemon available in raids. This is not including mythical Pokemon. Now, I've already made a video going over which are going to be the best legendary Pokemon to raid during this day, so if you want to check out that video, I'm going to leave it in the top right corner as well as in the description below. With that being said though, let's go over the bonuses for both of the days now. So in addition to everything that we've already mentioned, you're going to have 3-hour lure modules going, you're going to have incubator distance halved, so if it's 7 kilometers, it's going to be 3.5 kilometers. You're going to have special 7-kilometer eggs, which is really nothing crazy in my opinion. You're going to have event exclusive field research, which we don't know exactly what that's going to be just yet, but hopefully it's going to be pretty good. And then on top of that, you're going to have 6 special trades each day starting on the Friday before Go Fest even begins. So you're going to have a total of 18 special trades that you can do with your locals around your area, and that is phenomenal. I mean, you can trade shinies, you can trade legendary Pokemon. You are going to have to be at least Ultra Friends though if you want to minimize the amount of Stardust that you're going to have to spend on these special trades. The Stardust is not going to be reduced, at least to my knowledge, and so that is really important to consider as well. Because if you trade a legendary with someone that you've only just made friends with, it's going to cost you like 800,000 Stardust, which is ridiculous. But if you're already at Ultra Friends with this person, it's only going to cost you 80,000 Stardust. And if you're at Best Friends, that's only 40,000 Stardust. So yeah, definitely consider that as well when you are trading these Pokemon. This is for Pokemon that you actually don't have registered, so if it's a new shiny for you, you are going to have to pay that extra fee. If you guys both have the shiny and you're just doing like a mirror trade, it's actually going to cost you, I think, like 1,600 Stardust if you're Ultra Friend, and then 800 Stardust if you're Best Friend, so significantly less Stardust. And so with that being said, that's going to cover the event bonuses for the non-ticket holders. Let's dive on over to the bonuses that you're going to get if you end up buying the $5 ticket. So first off, I want to say, for those of you that are just curious about whether or not the ticket is worth the money, it definitely is. Based on the raid passes alone, you're going to get about $19 worth of raid passes, and you're paying $5 for it, so that's like a $14 profit right there. But again, everything to Niantic is digital and they don't pay anything for the raid passes. They're essentially just virtual items that you're still paying for. So you can justify whether or not it's going to be worth it for you. But if you're kind of looking for an analysis, or at least a quick analysis, that's going to be it right there. The ticket is worth the $5. With that being said though, I still want to cover everything that you do get as a ticket holder, because of course there's tons more stuff that's added onto that. So the first thing that you get as a ticket holder is going to be the special research quest. Essentially, this is just early access to Meloetta. You're going to get an avatar item plus an exclusive pose. Depending on if you pick the Pop Pikachu or the Rock Pikachu, this is also going to determine which pose you end up getting from the quest line. This is generally just a music-themed event, and the special research is also just going to be kind of like putting together a band of Pokemon. I don't really know how into the lore you guys get, but it's not anything that crazy. You're also going to have 4 collection challenges that you're going to be able to do throughout the event. I believe it's kind of in correlation to the habitat hours, but I could be wrong about that. You're also going to have global challenges each hour, which if you end up completing them, like obviously in a global standpoint, you're going to get a bonus for the remainder of that hour. So you're going to have 8 hours during the event, right, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we don't know what the bonuses are going to be just yet. They haven't given us that information. They may release it later on, but regardless, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just go out and play. You're going to get the bonuses regardless, and you just may not even see it coming. Maybe like double Stardust or double Catch XP or double Candy or something along those lines. Just play the event normally and just take the bonuses as, well, just a bonus. So yeah. And now on top of that, I want to go over the Habitat Hour rotations. So on top of everything that we mentioned for the non-ticket holders, if they end up using Incense, you're going to have access to these Pokemon. And these are the ones that I just decided to highlight. There are going to be a few more Pokemon as well, but these are the ones that kind of stood out to me. So every single hour, you're going to have access to Unknown F and Unknown G, both of which you can actually get in their shiny form. On top of that, for the Jungle Hour, you're going to have access to Chatot, which is actually a regional. The Desert Hour, you're going to have access to Tyranitar and Throh. Throh is actually going to be a new shiny Pokemon available during GoFest. During the Ocean Hour, you're going to have access to Gyarados and Sock. Sock is the counterpart to Throh. This Pokemon is also going to be available in its shiny form for the first time during GoFest. And then finally, during the Cave Hour, you're going to have access to Gardevoir, Absol, and Galvantula. So you definitely have access to some pretty good Pokemon from the Incense. Again, these are specifically from the Incense. Now on top of that, this is actually a really cool bonus for the ticket holders. You're actually going to have an increased shiny rate specifically on Saturday, day 1. So again, this is not going to carry over to day 2. It's only going to be on the first day of GoFest during those habitat rotations. We don't know what the shiny rate increase is looking like we don't know percentage-wise what it's going to be. We don't know if it's community day odds. Last year I believe it was like 1 out of 75, I think, opposed to maybe like the 1 out of 500 that it normally is. At the end of the day, this is still RNG, so don't expect like you're going to get more shinies compared to somebody who doesn't have a ticket. There's no guarantee that's ever going to happen. You may end up getting more shinies, you have a better chance to get more shinies, but at the end of the day, it is still RNG, guys. So don't go into it thinking that you're going to get more shinies than your friend who didn't buy the ticket. It may work out that way, it may not work out that way. Regardless, I just say it's a small bonus on top of everything else. And so those are going to be the bonuses for day 1 specifically. Now on day 2, you're going to have access to all the Saturday Pokemon like I previously mentioned, both in the wild and then of course from the Incense as well. Now day 2 of the event is going to be very raid oriented like we went over in the non-ticket holder bonuses. So again, on top of access to every single legendary Pokemon in the game, you're going to get 10,000 extra experience per raid completed. So if you have a Lucky Egg on, that's going to be about 40,000 experience per raid, which is pretty nice. You're also going to get access to 21 free raid passes, 10 orange passes, and 11 remote raid passes. Now basically, for those of you who don't know how the free raid passes work, the orange passes will essentially pop up into your inventory after you complete a raid. So you have to complete a raid, use up that orange pass, and then you can spin a gym stop and you're going to get another orange pass. You can do this up to 10 times during that day. For the remote raid passes, for 8 of them, you're going to have timed research that you essentially have to complete in order to get the remote raid passes. Now for the remote raid passes, you can only hold up to about 5 in your inventory at one given time, so you can't actually hold on to 8 remote raid passes. You're going to have to use them up and then collect the rest of them later. On top of that, you're also going to have a box in the shop that's going to give you 3 free remote raid passes. So you'll have access to about 21 raid passes in total. This comes out to about $19 in value respectively. More or less, I guess you could say, just based on the remote raid passes alone, I would just say it's worth about $9. So take that for what you will if you only do the remote raids. And again, I have a video going over how to actually remote raid very, very effectively in game. Gonna leave it in the top right corner right now. You're still gonna get about $4 worth off the $5 GoFest ticket if you just focus on the remote raid passes. And I would try to use them all if I could. You know, I would definitely try to use every single raid pass that you end up getting to really maximize the worth that you're getting out of this ticket. And that's kind of the big takeaway, in my opinion, is these raid passes. Like, day 2 provides the most value. Everything else is just like very RNG related. For example, some of the other bonuses are just like snapshot surprises, special event stickers. You know, it's not that crazy. I mean, these are nice things. These are cool bonuses, but they don't really make or break whether or not that $5 is worth it. But the raid passes alone is kind of your determining factor on, okay, am I getting my money's worth for buying this ticket? You definitely are. If you don't care that much about raiding, then, you know, I would say maybe this isn't really worth the $5 to you. But overall, if you feel like you just want to focus on the raiding aspect on day 2, then by all means. I mean, you're getting about $19 worth of raid passes for $5. I'd say that's a pretty big win. And so now that we've gone over the ticket holder bonuses as well as the non-ticket holder bonuses, I want to kind of give you my perspective in terms of how I played GoFest last year. If you really want to take the most advantage of GoFest, day 2 is probably the best day to focus on, so you really have to strategize how you're going to play during day 2. Again, I didn't buy a ticket last year, and I just grinded really hard every single wild spawn out there. I ended up getting like 8 shinies if I remember correctly. Like, I got like a Lola Marowak, Tangela, a few Gibble. What else did I get? I know I got something else too. But essentially what I'm trying to say here is that you definitely have a really good opportunity to grind during day 2, on top of all the legendary raids that you're gonna have available as well. So yeah, that's totally up in the air. Day 1 is not the most appealing in my opinion, just because of the habitat hour rotation. Like, I don't really feel like the habitat hour spawns are that good. And on top of the incense spawning, like, that's just completely RNG. Like, you may not even get like what you're looking for that often during the event. And so regardless whether or not you end up buying the GoFest ticket, I still think it's gonna be fantastic for both non-ticket holders and ticket holders. So really at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest deciding factor is, are you going to raid? And if you're going to raid, then I would say just buy the ticket. If you don't really care that much about raids, or you just don't really feel like you need all those raid passes, then yeah, you don't really need to buy the ticket in my opinion. So just make sure to leave those days free. If you have work, try to schedule out on day 2. If anything, you don't have to worry about day 1 as much, but day 2 is definitely going to be the day to play. Make sure that you have a game plan going into it. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Like, you have to figure out what you're gonna raid, you have to figure out how much you're gonna grind those wild spawns, make sure you have a 30-minute loop that you're gonna grind around. And yeah, that's kind of like my best tips and tricks, I guess, for you. I can make a separate video going over more tips and tricks if you want me to. Let me know in the comment section down below. But overall, I feel like that's basically my analysis for Pokemon Go Fest 2021 in regards to what you should focus on and whether or not you should really just buy the ticket or not. Anyways, though, that is going to be it for this video, so hopefully you guys did find it helpful and informative. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos in the future, and I will see you all real soon in the next one.